Hi Countryside, it's Joe Smith, your general manager, and I'm here today with someone who probably doesn't even need an introduction. Motown, that's what everyone refers to you as. You just told me that. Mo, thanks for getting on camera with me today.
Okay, well thanks for asking.
Oh, it's my pleasure. We want to obviously talk a little bit about the project and the future of Countryside and understand what you're hearing out there in the community, both from our residents and some prospective buyers.
Right.
So I figured who better to sit down and chat with as we approach the vote for Countryside 2.0.
Okay.
So first tell me, Mo, how long have you been here in Countryside?
31 years.
Pretty much since the beginning.
Since the beginning, yeah. We rented here, and the story behind our rental, we had rented downtown into a high-rise, and they didn't like renters. So when they found out we were renters, no one would talk to us. So the next year we came here to the Countryside, and we got out of the car, my husband and I, and Dominic Festa and Henry Rombach met us and said, "Oh, you're renting? Well, welcome." And I said to my husband, Lenny, I want to buy here because they know we're renters and they like us.
Yeah.
Where in the other community they didn't like.
You know, everyone I've spoken to has mentioned how friendly and welcoming the community is.
It was, and I bought on Province Way. I love that community on Province Way.
Yeah.
It's my home. It's my family now.
Yeah. So then when did you start selling real estate here?
Well, I was in real estate leaving Toledo, Ohio. I was a former school teacher, got into real estate. And then when I came down here, I saw that they had a real estate office on site, and I thought, that's perfect. So then I joined the Countryside Real Estate Company.
So you've been selling here pretty much since you
31 years.
Wow. In that time, how many homes do you think you've sold here?
I can't count.
You lost count.
I can't count.
Wow. So you've seen a lot of change here in the community. You've welcomed a lot of new residents to the community. So your take on this whole thing is pretty interesting, I would think, you know.
Well, here's what I'm hearing, and I can tell you the buyers that we have.
Yeah.
The buyers like to have upgrades, and we've got 2 buyers now who just put offers in on properties, and they said, Mo, we want this to go through.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you then close early so you can do the vote on it. And then we had another buyer who said, if it doesn't go through, I'm not going to buy here. I'm going to go to Cedar Hammock or Naples Heritage, where they've already done the pool area and have done all the amenities.
Yeah. And Cedar Hammock just approved another $12.5 million project.
And we went over to Naples Heritage. In that pool area by the tiki bar, or call it what you wish, it was crowded.
Yeah.
Very active over there.
Yeah. So most of the people you're dealing with now, I mean, obviously are looking at these other communities.
That's right.
So, I mean, you would say it's important that we keep
think it should be high on our list to do it and do the improvement. Otherwise, if we don't keep up with the community and other communities in here, we're going to have to pay catch up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do catch up because then you've lost those buyers.
Sure, sure. So, specific to yourself, what are your thoughts on the project and what's being proposed?
Well, number one, I would like outside dining. We tried to get that before and we didn't get it, and so that has been a big problem. Number two, I like the fact of a tiki bar, to go down to the pool area or sit outside, have some drinks, have a fire pit.
Yeah, something a little more casual.
Casual. Yeah. Of course, I live on Province Way, so I can walk right down here.
Sure. Sure. Well, a lot
that's
of
the advantage of Province Way.
But still, yeah, you're closer. So, and you're here all the time.
That's right.
So you think you would use that part of the amenity if it went through? Yeah. Would you use that more than some of the other areas?
I can't answer that. I've not played golf in a long time because of a health reason. But you know, I still like looking out my window and seeing a beautiful course out there, even though I don't play anymore.
Yeah.
And we got to keep up the community, and we got to keep up.
Yeah. So you went through, obviously you were here with the Wellness Center and the tennis project, and then we went into the golf course renovation, which I was a part of. So all these things that the community has done, nearly, gosh, $11 million in capital in the last 5 or 6 years, has really, helped keep us current with what's going on. And this is kind of the last phase. What are your overall thoughts on the projects we've done previously, and then moving into this?
Well, I think we've kept up the community, and that's why people like the community. Now, when we were going through the renovation and putting the new fitness center in and the tennis courts, at one of the meetings, someone said, I don't use the tennis court.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it. I do not see anybody playing all the time. Why do we need it? And another gentleman in the crowd said, what floor do you live on? He said, well, I live on the 3rd floor. He said, well, I live on the 1st floor. I don't use the elevator. Why do I have to pay for an elevator? Yeah. And I think this is it. The community has all these amenities. You can choose to use them, or you can choose not to use them.
Yeah.
But we need them in the community to keep us upgraded.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I never really thought of it that way, but it makes a lot of sense.
Well, I live on the 3rd floor, so I need an elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a really good point. Because there is so much that we offer here, and when we program the amenities, we try and keep the offerings robust and something that appeals to everyone. But we know that not everybody uses everything.
That's right, but they're there to be used.
They're there to be used, and I think you have to think about it on a bigger picture.
Yes.
What is best for the overall community. So.
Well, and my friend said to me, who is 90, I won't mention his name,
Okay.
He'll get mad at me. But anyways, he said, Mo, I won't be using that. But he said, my kids will.
Yeah.
When they come down, they'll use it, and when I'm gone, it'll be a higher value
Sure.
for the kids to sell.
Sure, yeah, that's a good point. So I wanted to ask you, I've been asking everybody this, with a project of this magnitude, it's not totally supported.
That's
There
right.
is negativity out there. Maybe not negativity, but there's some, there's residents who aren't in full support of it. So I'm curious, what are you hearing from the other side?
Well, I just heard one on the way over here.
Okay.
And she said to me, bring it up. She said, I don't think we need all the amenities that they're talking about. I think we need to cut back on some of it.
Yeah.
I like part of it, but I don't like all of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're dealing with. Some people don't want the whole project.
Yeah. Was there anything specific she mentioned?
Well, the fact that we're supposed to have outside dining before
Yeah.
and never got that.
Sure.
Doesn't feel we need a tiki bar at the pool.
Yeah.
And they'll probably vote no for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've heard some of that, in a lot of the proof of concept meetings that the committee has done, that question has come up and, why can't we phase it? And really the project is pretty integrated. And with a building of this age, if we start from the kitchen and work our way out, the kitchen has to be done.
I totally agree with that.
Once you start touching the electrical system and the fire suppression system and all these other areas that are integrated throughout the club, you end up having to bring the whole club up to date. And you had mentioned that your friend thought maybe there was going to be 3 bars with the addition of the outdoor pool bar, but I think maybe what people don't realize is we're going to eliminate the seaside bar inside.
I did not know that.
And we have now, we will have the Lakeview Lounge and then the addition of the more casual outdoor bar. So we still have 2 operations. And then the expanded seating gives us flexibility in terms of what we have open when.
Well, and let me tell you, we tried to get into the club a couple times, and it's crowded. You can't get into the club.
Yeah,
so that makes me cook, which I don't cook.
We don't want you to cook.
I don't want to cook.
we want to keep you happy and having fun, as we do everybody.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, this season the activity levels both on the golf course and in the clubhouse have been record high. And I think a lot of it, you can vouch for all the new residents we've welcomed to the community.
How many have we sold, Joe? Was 127?
129.
129.
Last year. Yeah.
And you take that times 2.
I think you sold 128 of them.
It could have been.
But yeah, they're here using the club. That's
right. People are using the club.
Yeah. So we really need to think ahead. And the plan that's being proposed gives us a lot of flexibility and the ability to accommodate more people at different times and different events.
Well, look at how successful you've been on the concerts.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you had last time. But I'm lucky because I live on Province Way, so I just opened up my lanai doors
you
and listened to the music.
Did you come to the most recent concert or no?
No, I just opened up my lanai door. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But
I
get
fun.
the free music.
I'm sure you're not the only one. Yeah, those have been popular. The last one we did, we had just over 600 people attend. Mm-hmm. You know, and of course there are some guests that come, but majority of them are residents.
Right.
And you know, I think those are an opportunity for our residents to show off the club. But can you imagine one of those outdoor concerts with an outdoor bar and some real food service, mm-hmm. You know, and more of an atmosphere and ambiance? I mean, I think it would be a great event.
You know, I recently sold a unit to a gal who was coming from the East Coast, and when she came to the club and I introduced her to some people, she said, "Mo, everybody is so friendly here at the club."
Yeah.
And then Deb came and brought the new booklet with all the owners, and I introduced her to a couple people, and I said, "Okay, she lives in your building. She's your neighbor right down the hall." And this gal is thrilled with Countryside. She's a single gal.
Yeah.
And she's just so happy to be here and with all the new people she's met.
Yeah. How often do you hear that in terms of about the people? You know, when you.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
They'll say to me, "Mo, everybody talks to me. They say hello."
Yeah.
I had one new buyer who said, "Mo, I walked down the street and people were saying good morning." I never got that. I won't mention where it came from, but no one ever talked to me up north.
What do you think that is?
It's the spirit that Countryside has.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like a family.
Yeah.
And you know, you can go back to the Mike McNulty, Dom Festa, all those people who have worked for years. Tom Kettle, who's still working for the club.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Polis, a lot of the people, Nancy Schmitley, who's been on board after board at her building. So it's the spirit of the people. It's like family here. And we want to support each other.
That's true. I mean, this is my, I don't know, 6th or 7th community, and this one is unique in that aspect.
What did you, so you found out the friendliness of this community up front?
Right up front.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really impressive. And you know, I've heard some concerns on, you know, this project will change the culture, or you know, because it's so large and the club's so large, we're going to lose that family atmosphere. And I don't think that's
I don't
gonna
think
happen.
so.
I see it as enhancing the social aspect of the community. You know?
Well, you can just see the people coming in, the people sitting at the bar, the conversations, the camaraderie that's going on.
Yeah. How many nights a week are you at the club?
As much as I can come.
Because I feel like I see you every day. Not a bad thing.
I say to Jim, "Let's go to the club tonight. I don't have to cook."
Yeah.
But I tell you, they give you so much food here at the club. I always usually get 2 days of it.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Well, I was going to say is, you know, the kind of the concept that the committee has been after is to offer some variety of dining, you know, because that's always one of the things that I don't want to say we get low scores on, but it's always something that we're working on. How do we keep the variety fresh?
I'm going to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
I think you need a comfort day.
Yeah.
And a comfort day, whether it be mashed potatoes, gravy, and green beans,
Sure.
or fried chicken, just
chicken
a comfort.
pot pie.
Yes. Not so
Meatloaf.
fancy food all the time. Just a comfort day.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. But you know, the project itself gives us the opportunity to provide you with some unique, like 3 unique dining experiences. You know, because the Lakeview Lounge is kind of your after golf grill bar type format. And then you have the dining room where I could see, you know, a comfort food night or fine dining, or, you know, Italian night, stuff like that. And then you have this completely new casual element that would have its own menu and own style of dining. So someone like yourself who's here 6.5 days a week, you know, you could choose, you know, you could have some options.
That's
I'd like
what
to
I
see
would
you
like.
here multiple times in one day.
Sometimes I've done that.
I know, but you come and you have the same menu.
That's right.
You know, in you know, the proposed project, you could you could come to the club and have one style dining during the day and a completely different style dining at night. You know, so
mashed potatoes, gravy, meatloaf. Keep it simple.
Okay.
And that's easy to take home and have the next day.
Sure, I understand. So, what else? You know, from the real estate perception, what else do you think needs to come across to the community, or why else do you think this is so important? That,
well, as I mentioned before, if we don't keep up with what other communities are doing, we have to do the catch up. It's harder to catch up. Then you have lost those people who originally wanted to come here. Just like the gentleman who said, I'm going to wait till the vote is over and see if it passes. I think we need to do it. I know that there are people out there voting against it, but I think we have to keep an open mind and say what's good for the whole community.
So do you think, you know, some of the residents that have said, well, we should push this back, it's not a good time right now. I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a year worth of planning and design before the actual project starts. So if we push it back a year, it actually is 2 years. 2 years. What I wanted to ask you was, should the vote pass, knowing that we have a year of planning and design, that's still going to put the real estate in a positive position, because at that point you can affirmatively tell people or prospective buyers that it's happening. You know, you see that as a good thing.
I do.
Yeah.
Now, the club will be closed down somewhat during that period of time.
During the construction. During the construction.
And how are you going to handle that, Joe, with the club?
We would have some modified food service. You know, obviously the golf course and tennis and fitness won't be affected. We'd still have a beverage cart. We'd still have takeout and delivery service. And right now we're working on some very early plans to offer some temporary dining, you know, perhaps using the wellness center multi-purpose room, partnering with some food trucks, bringing in some mobile equipment and doing some outdoor type events. And then also, I never want to forget setting up reciprocal agreements with some of our partner clubs, which we would do so early, and we would have that reciprocal arrangement extended as well. So our residents would have the opportunity to dine elsewhere. And the other thing is that should the project pass, the board has already committed to cutting the food minimum in half.
I saw that today on your email.
Yeah.
That was good, because I've heard comments on that. How do we have the food minimum when we don't have a restaurant?
Sure, yeah.
So,
well, and it, you know, the construction timeline tentatively would be like over a season. So you'd have like 6 months of full use of the club. So that's how they came up with, cutting it in half.
And another thing I heard, Joe, is that you got to keep it open more for the full-time people.
Sure.
They're the ones that are here,
Yeah.
the full-time, and they support the club. You
Yeah.
have to make arrangements so that we're not shut down for those people.
Yeah, I agree. And we are, what I've shared with some residents is, should it pass, we would program it to what you all tell us. So we look to do a survey, for the whole year, but also we want to understand how people intend to use the club during the off months, the summer months, and we would program it accordingly. If you tell us you're going to be here more, and you want to see the club open, 4 nights a week in the summer, we would program it accordingly. So the intent would be to offer, a more robust schedule, and I think that would be beneficial. Be great for us too, as long as we're
you'd have
busy.
Money coming in.
That's right.
You can pay your staff.
That's right. And our employees want to be here when the club is being used. They don't want to come in and stand around. They want to work. So.
And I tell you, your staff is great.
Thank you.
And Maria and Alex at the bar, they're very, very friendly. In fact, this one gal who bought just went to the bar herself and said, "Well, I want something to eat." And they said, "Well, what's your PIN number?" And she said, "I don't have a PIN number, but Mo Bruschella told me to come in." And I go, "What?" And they served her, and she used her credit card. So it was good.
Yeah, it's a future owner.
And she is now in her house on Coventry Court.
Yeah, it's a future
and
owner.
she loves it.
So good. Well, and from the staff aspect, we have so much tenure here. And I also think it's important that residents consider the benefit of a project like this to not only retaining key members, but also giving them the tools to continue to provide a great experience. Because for us, the club is a tool for us. This is how we provide an experience. And sometimes things are old and worn out. We need to reinvest in them. You know, so it's a benefit not only for our residents but also for our staff, our team members.
And you got a good staff.
We do. We have a great staff. One of the best I've ever had, without question.
So you've got a good staff, and you got wonderful members here.
Yes.
What more could you want, Joe?
Nothing. Maybe hair.
Well, you're not going to get that.
No, I'm not. So, Mo, anything else you want to share with me today? Anything else you're hearing out there in the community, or?
Well, all I can say is I just love this community, and it's like family to me.
It is.
Yeah.
I know you do. So.
And when my husband knew he was dying, he said, "You're going to go back to Toledo, Mo?" And I said, "No, this is my family."
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Countryside. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that, and I'm happy I'm a part of it.
Good.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me today.
You're welcome.
Absolute pleasure as always.
Good luck.
Countryside, as always, if you have questions, you can reach out to myself or any one of our committee members. You can email us at masterplan@csgcc.net. The voting window opens March 14th, and it will be open through Tuesday, April 5th. So get out there and vote, and we will find out the results in April.
Good.
All right. Thanks again,
All right.
Mo.
Thank you, Joe.
We'll see you around the club real soon.
All right. Thank you.